This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News, joined by Caoimhín Agyarko here in Liverpool. Caoimhín, it's good to see you. Obviously, same as what I've just said to Anthony, by the time this comes out, fight night will be done, so we'll stick to the theme of yourself, but how's life treating you at the minute?
Yeah, not too bad. Back in camp, back in Liverpool. Just training, waiting on a fight date.
Waiting on a fight day. It feels like this has been a bit of a frustrating chapter in your career. Obviously, you have that high of that victory against Troy Williams, and a lot of people might have felt from there on in the career would kick on somewhat. Hasn't quite played out like that. What would you make of the time since the Troy fight up until now, and why things just haven't quite aligned for yourself?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Obviously, coming off the biggest win of my career, and I just want to kick on one of the big fights. I want, to push on and challenge myself for world title. So it's been very frustrating. But yeah, no, obviously my deal was up with Matchroom, and we parted ways, and left me in a bit of a situation where I've no promoter. I'm a free agent, and it's kind of who needs Caoimhín Agyarko at the moment in terms of fighters. But listen, I'm still number 9 with the WBA, ranked top 10 with the EBU. So I'm in good positions. Still a big name, undefeated, 15-0. So anyone who wants it can get it. I'm just waiting on a date, and I'll be ready for them fights.
How were things left between yourself and Matchroom?
Yeah, they were left on good terms. Listen, it's no animosity or bad feelings. It's business. It is what it is. I'm not too sure why we didn't move forward and continue, but that's just boxing. Sometimes these things happen, and I appreciate everything Matchroom done for me. And I had 5 fights, 5 wins, and then 1 3 titles. So coming off that record, it doesn't really make sense why you wouldn't move forward. But listen, no, there's no animosity. I have nothing against Matchroom, Eddie Hearn or Frank Smith. I'm grateful for the opportunities they give me, and maybe we'll work together again in the future.
Looking at kind of the UK promotional scene and the broadcasters lined up with that. Obviously, you've worked with Eddie now. You've previously worked with Frank Warren and Queensberry. Not so far with Boxer, but where do things sit on that sense? Because are Queensberry happy to come back to you? Have you had any conversations with them, or is that a difficult one to go back to because of a past working relationship and then leaving at the time when kind of Eddie and Frank might not have been on the best of terms?
No, I don't think there's any issues with maybe going back, especially definitely not on my side. If it's always just business, it's nothing personal, and as 2 businessmen as Frank and Eddie are, they both know that as well. Do you know what I mean? So listen, if the opportunity presented itself, I would definitely sign with Queensberry or fight in their shows again. I had a good time at Queensberry. Do you know what I mean? And I just came to a stage in my career where probably one deal was better than the other, and I was able to fight back home, which was my main priority at the time. I've done that, fought back home, being on big shows, 3 big shows back home, and I just want to push on now and fight for titles and be in the big fights. You know what I mean? I'm in boxing to be a world champion, and I've got myself into the rankings. I've did everything I possibly can on my front, so I just need a promoter that's going to back me. I think I'm the best super middleweight in Europe, super welterweight in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So I just need someone who's going to give me that opportunity to go and prove that. My record speaks for itself. Do you know what I mean? Coming off the biggest win of my career against Troy, and it might have been nearly a year ago now, but it was a massive win when nobody wanted to fight Troy Williamson, and I went out and beat him comfortably. So yeah, listen, I want the big fights, whoever it may be. Next, I just want big fights. I'm still ranked with WBA, still got the WBA Continental title, so having a bargaining chip there, and yeah, it'd be good to be back on a Queensberry show like tonight. You know what I mean? There's so many stacked fighters, talented fighters, and it'd be great to be working with them. And again, if that opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely grab it with both arms.
Looking at potential names then, Caoimhín, is there anybody in particular who kind of ticks a box for you, if you will? Obviously, Abbas Baru, the European champion. I know even past you've spoken about that. Is that a fight which could be made?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Abbas Baru's number 1 with the WBA, so he's probably waiting on a title. But anyone in the top 10, top 15 of the WBA is who I want. Do you know what I mean? You've got the likes of Madrimov, who's just coming off a loss against Crawford, and he's number 3 now. I'm number 9. It's a fight to be made there. There's a couple other fighters in the rankings that I would definitely take, and definitely the Abbas Baru fight if it ever presented itself. So just waiting on the opportunities and seeing what happens. Even if it's at middleweight, I'd move back up to middleweight to entertain anyone at middleweight. But like I say, I just need that opportunity. Just need the fights to be presented to me, and I'll be ready to take them.
I mean, mentioning Madrimov there, that's an interesting name. Obviously, former world champion, very highly thought of in the 154 division. You're confident that if talks could ever progress on that front, you'd be able to handle business there, because it's a big call out, a big name to potentially see yourself fighting?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, at the top level, there's fine margins. Do you know what I mean? At elite level, there's fine margins, and that's where I want to be. So I need to be tested against them guys, and I believe in my ability, believe in my skill set, and my boxing IQ that I would beat someone like that. Do you know what I mean? Listen, Madrimov's no slouch. He's Olympic champion. He's former world champion, coming off a very close fight with Crawford. But they're the fights that I want. They're the fights I want to be in. I want to be in them type of fights. Do you know what I mean? The biggest, best fights, and be testing myself. So if that fight ever presented itself, it's definitely one that I'd be confident with going in and winning.
Well, Kevin, listen, I appreciate your time. Leave you to enjoy the rest of your night here in Liverpool. Thanks for speaking to me, and I'll catch you soon.
Thank you.